Well, good afternoon to you guys. Hey, I'm going to head out on the kayak. Taking a fishing rod with me, going to cast for some bass. It's the wrong time of day, but maybe I get something to hit. We'll see. I'm going to take GoPro with. Of course, I'll do a little bit of cuts here and there. Just out paddling this afternoon. I've been working since early this morning here around the campgrounds, the other campgrounds, both boat landings. I did all the mowing, cleaned all the bathrooms, got everything ready to go for the weekend. It's Friday, July 2nd. This is the big weekend. Folks are going to start filing in here anytime now and taking up all my camping spots. So I'm going to get out there for a couple hours or so paddling before the crowd shows up. So I'll see you out on the water. I've been getting some hits in here, but to get one to stay on has been a challenge. I'm using a topwater frog, and that seems to be what they're interested in. I've had 3 strikes in this spot. Haven't hooked one yet, though. The one strike was a pretty good one. I wouldn't venture to guess how big he was, but I can say without a doubt that he was a big feller. Boy, they're just top feeding all over. I can hear them, boom, boom, hitting the top of the water. Come on, one of you big fellas. Don't you want a nice frog for dinner? The hard thing is I tried to get the strikes on video. The problem is if you get a strike, by the time you say GoPro, start recording, it's too late. There's no footage. I mean, the strike is over. The strike only takes a matter of a second or two. So there's the frog I'm using, if you can see it. The topwater frog. It's a good one, too. I got him from JV Outdoors. What a great guy he was. He came to camp to visit Nick Green and me, and he's such a gracious person. And he brought me a new hat, and he brought me 4 topwater frogs. And boy, if he only knew, that's what's hot right now in this lake, is these topwater frogs. That's what the bass are going for. Now, when I'm fishing for bass, I'm not fishing for supper. I'm fishing for fun, because I don't eat bass. Well, I don't eat largemouth bass. I do eat smallmouth bass, but I don't eat largemouth bass. To me, they're soft. The meat is too soft. It's not nice and firm like so many other panfish. And so I've only eaten bass, largemouth bass, once. And I'm going to move my kayak up a little bit so I can get a little closer to that opposite shoreline. But the thing is largemouth bass are so much fun to catch. I mean, you can't help but want to fish for them because they're just a blast to fish for. I've got a perfect evening. Well, if I get out on the lake, there's a nice breeze. Not a hard breeze. It's just a nice, steady breeze. And You get back here in these little coves and these shallows, and it's nice and calm, and it's beautiful, beautiful. There we go. Now I can cast right up to that other shoreline for a bit. See if I can get anything of interest. Now, an old friend of mine, Andy K., he provided the line I'm using on this fishing rod. It's a really awesome fishing line. And believe it or not, as light as this line is, and it casts wonderful, it's a 40-pound test line. 40 pound. So it doesn't worry me if I latch on to, say, a muskie. I can definitely fight them into the boat. But the line acts like it's about a 8-pound line, but it's 40-pound test line. So I don't have to worry about snags. I don't lose rigs. Yeah, it was awful nice of Andy at that time to send me this line. I really, really enjoy it. It's a great fishing line. Oh, time to move the kayak a little bit. And I'll start the camera up in a little while and update you. Or I'll get it running if I get into some fish. So I'll see you in a few minutes, guys. Well, when it comes to fishing this evening, I haven't been very successful. But I'll tell you what, it is absolutely beautiful out on the lake this evening. I've been out here, let's see. Well, I've been out here a good full 2 hours already. I've had 5 strikes. You know, that's all right. Couldn't hook any one of them, though. That was too bad. I was hoping to hook a nice bass here tonight, but I guess it's just not happening. The bugs are coming out. It's getting buggy. And fortunately, they don't seem to be bothering me yet, but I'm sure the time will come. There's a little bit of structure right over there, a dead tree down in the lake there. I'm gonna go cast around that a little bit. That's our boat landing right there. That's the boat landing for the campground, which is a half a mile away from the campground. The water is just beautiful. I mean, the temperature of it is perfect. I mean, I don't even know what the temp is, but it feels good. It feels good. Seeing a lot of top water activity here, fish feeding on the surface. So it doesn't hurt to cast a little bit in here. You just never know. Ooh, something big just jumped in there. Something big just jumped in there. I wish it would jump onto my line. Can't believe it. Got kind of hung up in the weeds there. There we go. Thinking tomorrow, I'm going to have to run to our little store and get me a dozen or two of night crawlers, and maybe one day I'll put the kayak on its cart and we'll go to West Twin and catch some really nice bluegills down there and have myself a nice bluegill dinner. The fellas in the campsite next to me this last 2 weeks, great fellas, boy, I tell you what, I mean, couldn't ask for nicer people, And they were breaking camp today, and they were telling me that last night they had a big dinner of bluegills that they had caught yesterday over on West Twin Lake. And they kind of told me where on the lake to go for them. And they said they're all nice ones, 9, 10 inch. They're not monsters, but they're, for bluegills, they're really nice ones. They told me, they said, if you want bluegill for dinner, that's the place to go. And they said they're large enough to fillet, so I said, that's good. That's what I like. I like to fillet my fish. And, but those fellas, they wanted to clean up their campground, they said, their campsite. They didn't want to leave it a mess. But they didn't have a rake, and they wished they had a rake with them. And I said, well, I've got a rake you can have, use. I said, just make sure to get it back to me, Oh yeah, we'll get it back to you. And I said, I won't be here because I have got campground chores I have to do at the other campground, plus I had a boat landing to go mow. And they said, well, we'll just leave the rake on your picnic table at your campsite. I said, okay, that sounds good. So I get home from doing all my camp chores, and there's my rake. It's got a red piece of tape on it. And I thought, I wonder why they put a piece of tape on it and on the handle. And I looked, and there was something under the piece of tape. I took the tape off, and it was a $20 bill. They left me a $20 bill. I still haven't figured out why. Why should they? Why? I didn't do anything extraordinary or special. And I didn't do anything to deserve being given $20. Then I just realized, no, the type of people they were just showing appreciation. We couldn't say goodbye because I was busy at work, doing work. So they showed that appreciation by leaving me a $20 bill. It was so nice. It was such a treat. A lot of good people still in the world. Sometimes they're hard to find, but they're there. So I'm gonna paddle a little bit, see if there's any other spots I want to try this evening. Maybe I'll start the camera up again. Doesn't seem like anything's biting right now. Maybe over by my own campsite they'll be biting better. I don't know. We'll see. We'll head over that way. But I think because it's so nice out here, I'm thinking what I'm going to do is I'm going to head right over there across the lake to that other shore, because I can leave from there and go all the way straight across right to my campsite over here off to the right. And I won't be fighting the wind to speak up, even though it's just a breeze. Paddling is this is one of those days where paddling is almost effortless. You just glide along. Just glide along and enjoy the outdoors. As you notice, it's quiet. It's just super quiet. The loons will probably start singing soon. It's about that time of the evening. It's 6 o'clock now. I came out here at 4:30. Yeah, it was about 4:15 actually. I can't actually was in the water at 4:15. Boy, I'm loving it though. I needed to get out of camp. I needed to get out of camp without a purpose. Without a purpose, just to get out of camp. And I did that. I just got in the kayak, grabbed fishing rod. I didn't care if I caught anything today or not. I just wanted to get out. Yeah, there's the boat landing. There's a really nice picnic site up on the left-hand side there. If I came here, if I wasn't the host and I came here just to hang out, I just want to spend the day on the lake paddling or something, I'd pull down here and park and put my boat in here, and I'd use that picnic site up there. You're allowed to use it during the day. It's got a fire pit and a really nice picnic table. Great place to have lunch if you came here to spend the whole day. Now that's one thing that I've been discussing, is maybe upgrading the adventure trailer to an RV, to an RV trailer, not a motorhome, just a larger trailer. Well, boy, it's a tough decision. It's a tough decision. We'll see what happens, because I'm now thinking I might just stick with the adventure trailer, just make some modifications to it to make it maybe a little more comfortable. But I'm thinking I might get myself a small motorized fishing boat instead of a RV trailer. I don't know. Because if I had a little power boat, I could fish the lake here and several of the other lakes real quick and on demand, I could go fishing for just an hour or so and don't have to paddle around the lake, don't have to worry about the wind, don't have to worry about the conditions as much. Well, hey, I'll pick you guys up when I'm heading back over to the campsite. Well, guys, I'm going to wrap the evening up of kayaking and fishing. Didn't catch anything, had a few strikes, didn't catch anything. But I see I've got campers in the campground. They're starting to come on in. I'm sure over the last, well, it's been almost 3 hours now I've been out here on the lake. But I'm sure I've got campers that are moseying in. They usually get in between 2 o'clock in the afternoon and 7 o'clock at night, and it's 6 o'clock, so yeah. And I had a few that haven't arrived yet today, and I suspect they're in camp by now. This weekend is a pretty wild weekend, 4th of July, and there's a lot of people concerned about, are people going to get out of control at the campground? And I don't believe so. I've had nothing but good campers, so I'm not even worried about it. So we'll see you folks. So until the next time, guys, Sty loves you. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do. Give it a thumbs up, would you? Hey, ring the bell. You'll know when I'm doing videos and live streams. And until we meet again, you all have a very, very nice evening. Bye-bye.
Bye.